Hey Cheekies! So today I'll be walking with you in our neighborhood while I talk to you about the things that we prepared before acquiring this house of ours. Alright, as promised, I'm going to be discussing with you the things that we need to prepare before buying or purchasing a house. And this is going to be a mini series of what are the things that we prepared and what you can look forward onto when you purchase a house here in Australia. So let's try these 3 things that I've enumerated based on how important and based on the process that we took when we've decided to get a house. First is, of course, your funds. Alright, starting off with the funds, you have to decide if you're going to pay off from minimum of 5% of down payment up to 20% of down payment. So the difference is, if you're going to pay 5% of the down payment, then you have to pay the bank for a mortgage insurance. So mortgage insurance here in Australia is kind of different in Philippines. Mortgage insurance is actually not something that will protect you. By any chance, knock on wood, you pass, the house is not going to be fully paid, but then it's just something an extra that you have to pay to the bank because you aren't able to pay at least 20% of the down payment amount of the property. If let's say you have 20% at least, then I think it's better if you put 20% of it because you'll be avoiding to pay the mortgage insurance. Number 2, check which bank you want to loan your money from. So look for a broker. For me, we have recommended by my boss for a broker with ANZ. I'll be putting down his name here in the description box if you're interested. But so far, he has been very helpful, especially during this COVID season. We weren't able to meet him or see him in person. I think it's very common, but then he still were able to assist us from the day that we've decided to get a loan from them up to the day that we really got the house. So your loaning amount will actually be going to be based on your savings and on your income. So they will calculate everything, like your expenses, like how much is your rent now, do you have anything that you are paying in the Philippines, and how much savings do you have in the bank. By then, they will know how much the bank is going to lend you for the property that you want to purchase. So from there, you will know what type of properties, how expensive or how cheap of a property you can get just by being assessed by a broker. Their services are actually free. The bank is the one that's paying them, so you don't have to worry about that. Aside from those 2, of course, you also have to have money buffer. Money buffer meaning you have to have savings, or at least you have something that you can get money from when everything turns to, you know what I mean. But anyway, so you will also need that money when the time comes that your house had been handed over, because there are a lot of miscellaneous that you have to pay. Maybe prepare $5,000 for it. At the same time, you have to furnish your house, so you also have to buy furniture and the things that you wanted for your house, like let's say solar panels, or maybe you wanted some blinds to be installed. So there are a lot of things, and sometimes they can be expensive. Alright, next thing that you have to prepare is doing some research. So you have to do some research if you wanted to buy an apartment, a house, or a townhouse. But what's the difference? So for a house, it can be a landed house, meaning you have your own land, you don't have neighbors, or you don't have another house attached to your house, and you're living in a landed property. And the second one is an apartment. So an apartment is someone like the ones that you see around St. Kilda. So our house there is an apartment, and an apartment is a building with different property owners. In that building, maybe around 6 people living in it, or 6 families. And the last but not the least is a townhouse. A townhouse is like, imagine this, a big whole property with 5 different families in it, 5 detached or attached houses towards each other, but then you still own the land. You get it? It's kind of like that. Second that you need to research is the location of the house. So if you wanted to buy a property, you should know, or you should research about the location, or where do you want to be permanently located at. Here in Melbourne, you have 3 choices. Actually, you have 4 choices. Either go north, east, south, west. There are a lot of Filipino communities in the west, but then we didn't choose that area because whenever it's working day, like for example Monday to Friday, it's actually very traffic in the Westgate Freeway, and it takes us 2 hours just to travel from city to the west. But of course, don't let me tarnish your decision. It's up to you if you want to go west. Since there are a lot of Filipino restaurants there, it's very fun to stay there. But for us, we chose from somewhere between north, east, and south. You decide. Price range also differs whenever you chooses the location of your house. So you can check the price range of the houses from all of those suburbs from realestate.com. I'll be putting that link in the description box as well so that you can get more information, or you can get just the idea of how much it's going to cost you if you want to move around Melbourne, inner Melbourne, or in the country. Number 3 that you need to research is if you want to buy a second-hand house or a brand new house. There's a lot of pros and cons about it. Firstly is, if you want to buy a brand new house, of course everything is new, but then you also have to plan everything as well. If you've decided to do it with a builder, then you have to choose everything. It's actually going to be very stressful if you're not that meticulous, or if you're not that kind of person who wants to plan everything. But of course, like if you go with specific or builders that has preset colors and preset of everything and just have to choose from type A, B, and C, then that's going to be very easy for you. It's going to be helpful as well. Well, the pros if you buy a brand new is that everything is new, and you know for sure that you're the first one who's going to be sitting in that toilet to do your business. For second-hand houses, pros is actually the house is already there. You don't have to wait. You can move in right after the owner accepts your offer price. You just have to inspect the location, inspect the place. If you think that it's at par with the price that they're selling it, then it's yours. Like, everything can happen within a month. So that's actually very fast and easy. One of the cons is it's a bit worn out, and you won't know like the teeniest bit of what's wrong with that house. If there's been some crimes happen to that house, you won't know that as well. Well, we don't want to be too specific about that, but of course, it is actually very important to know the history of the house, because you will be living in it. You'll be waking up in the middle of the night to go to the toilet, go to pee, and you have to know who you're living with in that house. But anyway, aside from that, one of the pros buying a second-hand house is actually the location of the house. So sometimes when you see those kind of houses that are actually ran down, but then still very near the city and the price is good, you can still afford it. So that's why I wanted you to research which you prefer, if you wanted an old house, a new house, location of it. So everything depends on your preference. Last that you need to research about is if you're gonna buy a brand new house, if you're gonna do it with a contractor or an agent. Well, basically for us, we found this house that we purchased, and it was through an agent. We didn't really decide that we wanted to go to an agent, but then this was actually being posted in real estate by the agency, so we didn't really actually have a choice. We love the place, and of course, the builder gets to pay the commission of the agent. We didn't have to pay for anything, but maybe it's gonna be way cheaper if it was sold directly to us by the builders. But then we didn't have any regrets anyway, because it's actually a nice place and it's very homey. Last part of this is the people that you need when you are purchasing a house. Number 1, you have to have a conveyancer. Well, a conveyancer is like a lawyer. Well, actually, they're actually a lawyer who helps you with all of the paperwork that you need to process. We got referred by a friend for a conveyancer. I'll be putting her name in the description box as well, in case that you need it. So she will be helping you with all the paperwork, such as from the land title. She'll have to read through the contract of the sale. She'll be coordinating with the city council of where your house is. She will be coordinating with the suppliers prior to the handover. Suppliers like electricity, water supplier, and gas supplier. So basically, she'll do all the paperwork that you want to do. Yeah, of course, you just have to pay her. There's a certain fee that comes with it, but you can add it to your miscellaneous. And at the same time, if you're a first homeowner, then you get 10 grand from the government anyway. Next that you need to find is, as I've mentioned from my first part, is a broker. You need them because they'll be the one who's going to assess you on how much they're going to lend you, and they actually work with the bank, so you don't have to pay them. They get the commission from the bank themselves, so you don't have to worry about that. And as I've mentioned, I'll be putting the name of my broker in the description box. Last but not the least is an inspector. So for an inspector, you have to have a good inspector, because upon handover, you need someone who has professional eyes to check your house if there are some defects, or if there are some things that needs rectification, or things that you can just let go. So for us, we got a referral from a friend as well. I'll be putting the company name in the description box too. He was very specific by the way he checks. So when the report came in, it was like 40 pages long with photos and all. It was actually a very long report, and we've submitted to the builder, and up to date they said that they're about 90% done with all the rectification. Well, the builder was also saying that he was just too specific, or he was just too crucial about checking everything, because we've paid a lot. But then we feel like, yeah, you get what you paid for, so at least we get someone to check before we got the house. At least we know what are the things we need to be fixed before living in it. Actually, that sums up the research that we did before purchasing a house. So next episode, stay tuned. I'll be doing a vlog about what we've done after the handover, like the furnitures that we did, but I'm going to put the house tour, the last episode of this mini series that I have. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this short vlog that I've made for you. If you have any questions, or if you have any queries, comments, please do comment down below. And if you know a friend who's also in need of these information, please do share this vlog, share my channel. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe since you've been watching already. No harm done on my end and on yours. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel, Misunderstood Cheeky, and you have a great day. Stay safe. Cheers. Bye.